hell is our situation with China is that most of the people driving a luxury automobile had a lot of their money come from China in one form or another. We've got a bunch of Americans who are not fundamentally interested in the American project. They're interested in their second home, or sending their third kid through college or whatever. And those people are addicted to China. They want to do China the way, jazz musicians used to do heroin. It's essential for their being able to function.
Yep, and it's a gamble. They have gambled all of our futures. They've gambled the West on a belief that China will be obligated by its need for us as a market to function as we function.
We will make China a better China by constructive engagement, which means that I will have a third home with a swimming pool.
Yeah, and it's all a rationalization.
Yeah.
And so if you edit down the world, if you say, okay, here's the entire population of,
By the way, you and I probably have some percentage of our net worth that comes from China.
Comes from China.
Right? My feeling is, I don't want it. I'd rather be poorer and not be dependent on whoever it was who massacred students in Tiananmen Square, full stop.
Well, it's a little bit like the way evolutionary biology has been disrupted by our belief that reproductive success and fitness are actually the same thing. They're closely related, right? But being better off, being wealthier, is not the same thing as being richer. And so, yes, of course we would surrender a substantial fraction of our wealth not to have the gamble of being so dependent on a nation that is so clearly hostile to us at the level of fundamental interests.
I would rather live on rice and beans with an ability to think freely and not have to parrot some stupid ass shit in order to keep my job.
Yeah.
Right? I really would rather have rice and beans. And if you would rather have a luxury automobile and lie for a living, then we need a divorce.
Yeah. Yeah, I absolutely agree with this. And now, I'm not exactly sure what we're seeing in our streets, because I'm pretty sure that anybody who is hostile to our long-term well-being and strength is certain to be happy about the lunacy that is now threatening us. And so what I can't see is any reason that they would not be attempting to amplify it. And the tools to do so would appear to be ubiquitous.
Yes.
So we are now behind the 8 ball in a most remarkable way.
Well, yes and no. I mean, to be blunt about it and to be horrible about it, we are strangely what is left of what we were. And I know this because, in some sense, we were not founded as a nation of cowards.
Yeah.
We were not founded as a nation of rule followers, because Lord knows King George gave a bunch of rules and we didn't follow them.
Yeah,
and we weren't a bunch of savages, and we weren't a bunch of anarchists. And so the question is, what is left of the U.S.? And what I horribly believe is that the tiny number of people that we sort of collected as our group are all that's left of people who have the ability to speak up after processing things and finding our sense-making architecture completely insane.
And you can actually begin to detect just how many there are, because the circle begins to close, right? So,
well, that's true, but the other thing is that you know and I know that every day I get letters and messages from people who say, thank God you're able to speak. I'm almost at the point where I could say something, but I know that I'm going to lose my job.
Right.
And so the idea is, I know exactly what is keeping this group of people from speaking. It's one, that they don't feel like they have any choice, as in a presidential candidate. They're just going to pick always the better of two terrible options.
Yep.
And the second thing is that they can't afford to lose their jobs.
Right.
So
I have started talking about the First Against the Wall Club, which in IDW style is named to be jarring. And the point is, look, I don't want to be first against the wall, but I'm aware of a couple things. I'm aware that one is not going to find stable, safe haven by placating the mob. There's no middle ground. You can sign up for the mob, and then we know what happens to you. You will be eaten in the end. It will take advantage of you, and then at the point where there are spoils to be divided, all hell's going to break loose for those who are part of the mob, the so-called allies. You can try to hedge, right? You can try to make some concessions, try to stay
Look,
out
I'm no
of-
fan of Bret Weinstein. However,
Right,
I don't know that everything that he says is wrong.
right. You can do something like that, in which case it'll come for you pretty soon.
Yeah.
Or you can say, screw it. There's no safe harbor to be had, so I might as well say the truth, right? I might as well say the truth, and what that means is they will put me against the wall first. I know that, right? But I'm not willing to compromise in order to be later against the wall. First against the wall, if it's going to be against
I
the
don't
wall.
like this at all.
You don't.
I understand what you're doing, but my feeling about this is I'm not intending to be against the wall.
Me either.
Right.
Oh,
So-
me either. Absolutely.
So fuck the wall.
Well, we don't know what's coming. My point is, don't hedge.